The guys, and there have been a number of rookies and late round picks. Dimitri Felton comes to mind, who have been very impressive. And another one of those is the 5th round pick, Richard LeCounte. He talked about his adjustment to the NFL and with the Browns.
I feel great. I'm learning the system, learning the plays. Being in Cleveland is a great time. Just feeling back 100% healthy. It's a blessing to be here.
With those 2 picks, that phrase "nose for the ball" comes up. Do you feel like you're one of those guys that just sort of has a nose for the football?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Good things happen when you run to the ball. So whenever I'm on the field, I'm active, trying to get around the ball and be as the best teammate that I can be.
How much of that is instinctive? How much of it is prep?
I mean, yeah, man, just instincts, preparation, watching film, being able to be up on my game, being able to know what's coming from the offense, just being ready. That's the main thing, being ready to play this game.
And Doug, that's a guy that, if you're a safety and you're always around the ball, you're going to get some attention. And Richard LeCounte's getting some attention because he's around the ball a lot.
I'm obviously not the only one who thinks of it this way, but he's the DPJ of the defense. That's what we're talking about here. And I lumped them together because I'm pretty sure I talked to both Donovan Peoples-Jones and Richard LeCounte when they were high school freshmen at Ohio State recruiting camps. And those were 5-star guys that the Buckeyes were recruiting, and they both chose other places. Obviously, Donovan Peoples-Jones at Michigan and Richard LeCounte at Georgia. And again, separate stories, but the bottom line is they were 5-star dudes, great talent coming out of high school who went to really good programs and were very good players, but maybe didn't get over the top as NFL draft prospects in the way you would have expected coming out of high school. And so the Browns taking them late, man, you are taking some high-level talent late in the draft. And obviously it's a strategy for Andrew Berry, for a lot of teams too. But you love, it's not a risk, but you love an approach like that. And when you start thinking about, we don't want to go too far with Richard LeCounte, although, depending on what the injuries are in the safety room, he might get on the field this year. But man, that's exactly the right kind of guy you want to have in the pipeline. Just like with Donovan Peoples-Jones, you still don't know exactly what he's going to do this year, going to help him. But, in a future where you can't pay all your high-priced veterans, Donovan Peoples-Jones and Richard LeCounte are the kind of guys that keep you good. They don't have to make you good because you're already good, but they help you stay there by being late round picks that you save some money on, that you believe in enough that by the time they get to year 2, year 3, year 4, you believe in them as guys who can play a lot when they're surrounded by some other high-level, highly paid guys. So I'm just going to always think of LeCounte and Peoples-Jones in that way. And I can imagine him being a guy that people get very enthused about this year, just like people got enthused about DPJ last year.
Yeah, and the other thing is the Browns are starting to find those guys late in the draft, which is a sign of a good organization, I think.
Yeah, and it's easy. They're in good camp. So, Dimitri Felton and Richard LeCounte sure seem like great picks right now. Who knows? But that's how you do it, Dave. You cannot keep the same 30 guys together on a run. You pick your pillars. You pick your 7, 8 guys that you're really going to build around, and then you've got to cycle guys around them. And if you don't find guys like that, that's why I know we'll talk about Mack Wilson a little bit later. It's like Mack Wilson's really important because that's a guy that you hoped, from a draft in a couple of years can really help you. And if you miss on a lot of that, and that's what the Browns did when they were bad, they just didn't get much help like that. But when you hit on it, you look at a guy like Joe Schobert, 4th round pick, was a really good player for several important years with the Browns. And then when it became time to pay him, then they didn't pay him and they moved on. But even if that's what guys give you, that 4 or 5 years that they can give you while they're underpaid solid players, that makes good teams stay good.